Because people are so different, that's why hierarchy has to exist, because we can see that it is quite evident that all people are not created equal, as much as we want that to be true.
The soup is how I look at most people. People can either follow a strict recipe, or they can be variations of dishes that you partake in at various restaurants, for example. Now, the reason why I put that is because I truly believe that human beings are not recipe-based. I don't think prescriptions, I don't think that very strict prescriptions work on the human experience, because we're all coming from a different place. We're all different people, and generally we are variations on similar things that I don't think are just like put in a mold and then put out. So I wanted to start by saying I don't think that hierarchies necessarily work, because I don't think that a rigid prescription for societal structures is the best way to organize society. I believe that we're all too different for that to even work. When we're talking about hierarchies, there are a lot of different ways that we could go about this. We could talk about government hierarchies. Are we the type of people who have institutions that are strong enough to basically dictate the people or reflect the will of the people properly? Or are we the type of people who are basically too dumb to be trusted to our own devices, and by this point, democracy is a sham? There's also the idea of religious hierarchy, which I find very interesting. I wanted to go into that. But religious hierarchy is definitely another way of which you could organize societies. I think that that actually has a lot of prescriptions unto itself. And then finally, we have the hierarchies that religions most of the time prescribes for men and women, for example. The traditional gender roles. So I'm interested to hear in what Ozymandias here has to say about each one of these individual categories within the concepts of hierarchy, and maybe we can flesh out a worldview from which I can interact with a little bit more concretely from there. So with that, I sacrifice my time. Ozzy, please tell me your view on hierarchies.
So what you initially said is people are, in fact, so different that it is difficult to have a certain idea that is going to, encompass the entire world. But I think because people are so different, that's why hierarchy has to exist, because we can see that it is quite evident that all people are not created equal, as much as we want that to be true. And this is obvious as just physical characteristics. Some people are 6'5", some people are 5'5". Right? There's going to be a hierarchy in the NBA. There's going to be a hierarchy in the NFL. And similarly, there's going to be an intellectual hierarchy in the same way. And we can see that because there's going to be such a difference in people's aptitudes, from everything from intelligence, physicality, to even things like creative potential, it is impossible for everybody to perform the same role to the same degree and to the same level of excellence. So there's going to have to be some type of hierarchy in which the people who are most suited for certain things rise to the top. And that includes things like government, right? So do we really think that the world should function on a democracy when it is in fact is a fact that most people are not going to be able to have the same equivalent level of understanding of politics and the same ability to follow the political sphere? Should people that are unintelligent and don't have any, they don't read the newspaper, they don't watch TV, they don't read books, should those people have equal say in the government to people that spend their entire lives working at this? In the same way that, should a person that has absolutely no creative talent, should they have equal say in being able to produce music or produce great art? It's just fundamentally untrue that all people have the same abilities to do these things.